Your life starts to shift the second you focus on solutions instead of problems. Most people don't even notice it, but they spend their whole day trapped in what's wrong. They overthink, they complain, they wait for something to fix itself. And the more attention they give the problem, the bigger it feels. That's why progress seems so far away, because the focus is in the wrong place. If you keep feeding the problem with your attention, you'll stay exactly where you are. In this video, you'll learn how to focus on solutions, not problems. You'll understand how to take back control of your mind, how to stop letting emotions make your decisions, and how to shift your attention toward what actually moves your life forward. This is real talk, real mindset work, and real results. No fluff, no hype. Just clear, simple truths that help you stop wasting time and finally start growing again. Chapter 1. Take full responsibility for what happens from now on. One of the most important steps you will ever take in your life is this: deciding to take full responsibility for what happens from now on. Not for what happened years ago, not for what your parents did or didn't do, not for what your boss said last week, not for how the world operates, but for your life from this moment forward. That decision changes everything. It changes how you think. It changes how you respond. It changes how you act. And most importantly, it changes what happens next. The moment you take full responsibility, you stop waiting for something outside of you to fix your life. You stop pointing fingers. You stop hoping that someday your circumstances will magically improve. You stop giving your power away to other people or to the past. When people stay stuck in problems, it's usually because they're caught in a blaming loop. Blaming is easy. Anyone can do it. You can blame your family, your past, your friends, your environment, your education, your job, the system, but none of that changes anything. Blaming doesn't build. It only drains your energy. It keeps your focus locked onto everything that's wrong instead of everything that could be right. Here's the truth. When you blame something, you hand over your control. You give away your ability to change. But when you take full responsibility, even when things weren't your fault, you take your power back. Responsibility doesn't mean it's all your fault. It means it's now your job to deal with it. And that shift is what creates forward movement. You can't grow if you're always explaining why you're not where you want to be. You can't improve if your energy is stuck defending your pain. That's not how progress works. Growth begins when you say, "This is my life. It isn't perfect, but I'm in charge now." Not your excuses, not your problems. You. When you take full responsibility, you start paying attention to what you can control. You begin to notice your habits, your patterns, your thinking. You ask better questions. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What can I do about it now?" That's how you shift from focusing on problems to focusing on solutions. Problems will always exist. They're part of life. But how you show up to them, that's your choice. Every single day, you're given a chance to either complain or create. And the difference between people who move forward and people who stay stuck isn't luck. It's responsibility. If you want change, you have to build it. You have to show up for yourself. No one is coming to push you every morning. No one is going to rescue you from laziness or procrastination. That's on you. And that's not a burden. That's your power. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers. It's about owning your effort, owning your time, owning your decisions. You start seeing results the day you stop running from accountability and start building consistency. Every action matters. Every time you choose one small step instead of getting stuck in fear, you move forward. But if you spend your days defending why you haven't changed, nothing will change. Be honest with yourself. What are you avoiding? What are you pretending not to know? What patterns keep showing up because you refuse to deal with them? Responsibility means confronting those truths. It's not always easy. It's not always comfortable. But it's real, and real is what creates results. Most people spend more time describing their problems than fixing them. They repeat the same stories for years. They relive the same pain again and again. But talking about what's wrong doesn't solve what's wrong. You have to shift into doing, into acting, into becoming the kind of person who solves. Ask yourself, what can I do today that moves me forward? Not next week, not when you feel ready. Today, what can I stop doing that's slowing me down? What excuse have I been making that needs to be removed? What habit needs to be replaced? That's what responsibility looks like. It's clarity. It's action. It's facing the mirror and saying, I decide who I become next. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. You don't need approval to change. You don't need applause to grow. You need discipline. You need direction. You need honesty. Taking responsibility doesn't make life easier, but it makes life clearer. You stop feeling powerless. You stop blaming the past. You start focusing on solutions because you realize your future depends on what you do now, not what you wish would change. So no more stories about why it's hard. Everyone has hard. Some people use it as fuel. Some use it as an excuse. The only difference is choice. And the best part is this: you can choose again right now. You can choose to rise. You can choose to let go of what doesn't serve you. You can choose to show up even when it's tough, and people will notice. You'll start thinking differently, speaking differently, acting differently. Not because your problems disappeared, but because you stopped letting them define you. Because you started solving instead of stalling. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation comes and goes. You need responsibility. Responsibility creates structure. Structure creates results. Results create confidence. And confidence keeps you moving. It all begins with a decision, a real one, the kind where you draw the line and say, from here on out, I own my life. Not halfway, not when it's easy, every day. And yes, you'll fail. You'll mess up. That's part of it. But if you keep showing up, keep learning, keep owning your effort, you'll keep growing. That's what matters. You don't have to change everything today. You just have to take responsibility for your next step. And then the next one. Because once you build the habit of owning your choices, your mindset shifts. You become someone who builds instead of waits, someone who solves instead of avoids. That's where real strength comes from. Not from having no problems, but from building the habit of rising above them. That's what it means to focus on solutions. That's what it means to take responsibility for what happens from now on. Your time starts now, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now, show up, own your path, be the reason your life moves forward. And never forget, your future depends on the actions you take today. Chapter 2. Train your focus to go. Where progress can grow your life will always follow the direction of your focus. If your focus stays on what's missing, what's broken, or what hasn't worked, your mind builds patterns around those things. You'll feel stuck, not because there are no opportunities, but because your mind keeps replaying what's broken. That isn't because you're weak. It's because your attention has been trained in the wrong direction. Every day, most people wake up and their attention immediately goes to what's wrong. They think about stress, noise, problems, and the things they don't like. Their focus gets shaped by what makes them feel trapped. Without realizing it, that becomes their mental routine. But if you want real change, you have to train your focus to go where progress can grow. Progress doesn't grow in the middle of negative thinking. It doesn't grow when all your attention is locked into fear, resentment, regret, or excuses. Progress grows in clarity. It grows in direction, and it begins with noticing what your focus is doing. Every moment, every hour, every day. You can't keep feeding your mind constant reminders of failure and expect confidence to rise. You can't keep staring at setbacks and expect motivation to show up. You have to deliberately choose where you place your attention. That's what training your focus means. You take it seriously. You treat it like something valuable, because it is. Your focus is your energy. And where your energy goes, your future follows. Most people focus on the wrong things, not because they want to, but because they've never been taught how to control it. No one told them, you can direct your focus. You can train it like a muscle. You can teach your mind to see what's useful, not just what's urgent. But it starts with awareness. Start noticing what steals your focus. Is it constant comparison? Fear of what could go wrong? A habit of jumping from thought to thought without ever being grounded in the present? If you don't catch it, your attention becomes scattered, and scattered focus creates scattered results. Training your focus means slowing down enough to ask, what am I actually giving my energy to right now? If the answer doesn't serve your growth, you shift it. This doesn't mean you ignore problems. It means you don't feed them more than they deserve. You see them, you address them, but you don't live inside them. Progress gets built when you focus on actions, not distractions. Progress is built when you focus on actions, not distractions. When you wake up and choose to think about what you can build today. When you move through your day and catch the moments your mind drifts into negativity, then gently pull it back to what matters. This isn't about being positive all the time. It's about being aware and intentional with your attention. Some days you'll feel overwhelmed. That's normal. But even then, you still decide what gets your full focus. You still have the power to say, I'm giving my energy to something that helps me grow, not something that makes me feel smaller. When you do this consistently, something changes. Slowly, your brain starts to recognize progress as a natural way of thinking. You stop seeing everything as a problem. You start asking better questions. What can I learn from this? What's the next step I can take today? What would make today just a little better than yesterday? Those questions pull your focus toward action, clarity, and resilience. They build a mindset that doesn't collapse when life gets difficult, because a focused mind is a strong mind, and a strong mind creates real change. People often say they don't have time to focus, but it's not about time. It's about attention. 5 minutes of deep focus can move your life forward more than 5 hours of distracted effort. It's not the clock holding you back. It's how much of your day you give away to things that don't help you grow. Your phone is a tool. Your environment is a tool. Your thoughts are tools. But when you let those tools control you, your focus becomes fragmented and progress disappears. So how do you train your focus? You practice every day. You take small moments to center yourself. You write down what actually matters. You set short goals that create clarity. You notice where your attention goes when you're tired, overwhelmed, or frustrated. You learn to catch your mind when it slips into overthinking, self-doubt, or anger. And you redirect it. This isn't something you do once. It's something you build. Focus is a practice. It's a skill. And like any skill, the more you train it, the stronger it becomes. You don't need perfect focus. You just need better focus than yesterday. if your attention was scattered all week, but today you gave 30 minutes of real clarity to something important, that's progress. That's growth. That's how change begins. Your attention is one of your greatest powers, but only if you use it intentionally. Stop giving it to everything that demands it. Not every notification, not every opinion, not every memory deserves your focus. You get to choose, and when you start choosing more carefully, you'll notice the difference. You won't feel as stuck. You'll feel more in control. You'll have more energy for the things that matter. You'll spend less time explaining why you're behind and more time building momentum. Progress is always possible, but it's only visible to those who are looking in the right direction. Don't expect to feel motivated if you constantly consume things that drain you. Don't expect discipline if your focus is scattered across distractions. Your life needs structure. Your mind needs guidance. And that begins with training your focus. When you learn to do this, you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop searching for shortcuts. You start doing the work with a clear mind. You begin building a life that moves forward even when circumstances aren't ideal. A focused life isn't a busy life, it's a meaningful one. It's filled with moments that matter because your mind is present. You're not lost in the past. You're not drowning in the future. You're right here, connected to the step in front of you. And that's where progress grows. Don't rush this process. Don't chase fast results. Stay with your focus. Notice where it goes. Practice pulling it back to your priorities. Practice giving it fully to the things that make you stronger, calmer, clearer. If you do that day after day, you'll realize something powerful. Your problems haven't disappeared, but your focus has shifted. And because your focus shifted, you became someone who builds instead of breaks. Someone who moves forward instead of staying stuck. Someone who trains their attention to follow growth, not chaos. This is how you take back control of your mind. This is how you take back control of your results. Train your focus, and progress will follow. Chapter 3. Act before fear makes the problem. Feel too big. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is waiting. Waiting until they feel ready. Waiting until fear disappears. Waiting until the situation feels easier or clearer. But the longer you wait, the heavier everything becomes. Fear doesn't fade on its own. It grows. It multiplies. The more time you spend thinking about a problem without acting, the more impossible it starts to look. That's how the mind works. When you hesitate for too long, your imagination takes control and turns challenges into monsters. What started as a small step becomes a mountain in your head, not because it's actually that difficult, but because fear stretched it out of proportion. That's why the most powerful move you can make is to act early. Act before fear has time to build. Act before the problem becomes exaggerated in your thoughts. When something uncomfortable shows up in your life, your instinct might be to pull back, analyze, and wait. But overthinking rarely creates courage. Movement does. Doing one small thing proves to your mind that you're not helpless, that you're not trapped, that you still have the ability to move forward, even when you feel uncertain. Fear will always grow if you give it space. If fear sits in your head long enough, it starts controlling your voice, your choices, and your decisions. It tells you to stay safe. It reminds you of past failures. It plays worst-case scenarios on repeat. But fear is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to start, not recklessly, not blindly, but intentionally. Because the longer you stall, the more power fear gains. Your brain is designed to protect you. It constantly scans for danger, but it doesn't know the difference between real danger and discomfort. So when you feel nervous about taking a step forward, your brain says, wait. If you obey that voice too often, hesitation becomes a habit. And one day you wake up realizing you've been standing still for months or even years, not because you were incapable, but because fear trained you to pause instead of push. You don't overcome fear by thinking about it. You overcome it by doing something that moves your life forward. That step might be small: a conversation, an application, a commitment, showing up, speaking up, choosing to act even when you're unsure. Movement changes the message your brain receives. It learns that discomfort isn't deadly, that stepping forward didn't destroy you, that doing the hard thing gave you proof you can continue. Fear may still be present, but it no longer leads. Fear can be in the room, but you're the one walking. And with every action you take, fear gets quieter. Because fear loses its grip when you stop feeding it attention. Action gives you something fear can't touch: momentum. When you move, you gain experience. You gain real feedback instead of imagined outcomes. You realize that most of what you feared never actually happens. But you'll never learn that if you stay stuck in your head. The longer you wait, the more stories your mind invents. And most of those stories are built on worst-case thinking, not reality. When you act early, you keep problems small enough to solve. You stay in control. You prevent challenges from turning into crises that drain your energy and cloud your judgment. Courage doesn't feel like confidence. Courage often feels like shaking hands, a tight chest, and still moving forward anyway. Courage doesn't come first. It shows up after the action. You build it as you go. Don't wait for certainty. That moment may never arrive. Some clarity only appears after you begin. You take one step, and the next one becomes clearer. If you wait for clarity before moving, you stay stuck. You let fear decide your pace, and fear has no interest in your growth, only your comfort. Comfort never builds a meaningful life. Growth comes from movement, from stretching yourself, from acting not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Even small steps matter. They build strength. They create progress, and progress fuels belief. When fear gets louder, remind yourself you don't need to know everything to begin. You only need to know what matters right now. Progress doesn't come from perfect conditions. It comes from decision. And choosing to act before fear takes over is how real change begins. Chapter 4. Take full ownership of how you react to setbacks. Every person faces setbacks. No one is immune. Life doesn't ask for permission before it knocks you off course. Plans fall apart. People disappoint you. You fail at things you thought you were ready for. But what defines your growth is never the setback itself. It's how you react to it. You don't control everything that happens to you, but you always control what you do next. That's where your real power lives. That's where progress begins, when you take full ownership of your response. Your first reaction to a setback reveals the quality of your mindset. If your default response is frustration, blame, or self-pity, you build habits that keep you stuck. But if you train yourself to pause, stay aware, and choose a response that moves you forward, you start building a different kind of life. Most people don't realize that reacting is a habit. If complaining is your first response, your mind will return to it automatically. If blaming others is your reflex, your focus stays locked on what went wrong instead of what can be improved. Ownership breaks that cycle. When you take responsibility for how you react, you stop running in circles. You give yourself room to learn, adjust, and make better decisions going forward. You can't avoid obstacles, but you can decide how much power they get over your thinking. Ownership doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It doesn't mean forcing positivity. It means standing firm and saying, "This happened, and I choose how I respond." That mindset puts you back in control. It makes the setback smaller and your strength bigger. The same situation can destroy one person and strengthen another. The difference isn't luck, it's choice. Some people grow bitter, others grow better. One choice keeps you stuck. The other moves you forward. When something doesn't go as planned, pause. Don't rush to speak. Don't rush to react. Don't rush to escape the discomfort. Sit with it for a moment. Ask yourself honest questions. What actually happened? What am I feeling right now? What does my reaction say about how I handle pressure? Then ask something deeper. What would a stronger version of me do next? Growth begins when you stop reacting and start responding. A reaction is automatic. A response is intentional. A reaction is emotional. A response is grounded. When you learn to respond with clarity, you develop a level of strength most people never reach. Setbacks often feel personal. They hurt your pride. They challenge your identity. But that pain carries information. If you pay attention, setbacks reveal weaknesses in your thinking, your habits, or your expectations. And when you take ownership of even a small part of your role, you open the door to improvement. Avoiding responsibility for your reactions might feel easier in the moment, but it guarantees long-term stagnation. You repeat the same mistakes. You relive the same emotional patterns. Nothing changes because you don't change. Ownership is maturity. It's choosing to lead yourself even when things feel unfair or unexpected. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to pretend you're unaffected. But you do need to care about how you show up when life tests you. Those moments shape your direction more than you realize. When you respond with clarity and purpose, you build something no one can take from you. Self-respect. Taking ownership of your reactions doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means managing them, feeling them without letting them decide your next move. You don't lash out. You don't quit. You don't sit in shame or anger. You breathe. You reflect. You move forward with intention. You also can't wait for perfect conditions to practice this. Growth doesn't happen only when life is calm. It happens in pressure. It happens in the heat of the moment. Responsibility isn't guilt. Ownership isn't self-blame. It's recognizing your power to choose your attitude, your focus, and your next step. Even when things feel out of control, that power is still yours. You can't control how others act, but you can always control how you respond. Some people will test your patience. Some will doubt you or disrespect you. Ownership protects your peace. You stop handing your emotional stability to other people's behavior. When things fall apart, your reaction either builds your character or exposes what still needs work. That's not something to fear, it's something to use. Pay attention to your patterns. Do you get defensive too fast? Do you shut down? Do you avoid reality? Those are habits, and habits can be changed. Start small. The next time something irritates you, pause. Ask yourself, is this how I want to respond right now? That pause is the beginning of a new habit. Over time, that habit builds strength, clarity, and emotional maturity. If you want to grow, study your reactions more than your plans. Your reactions show you where your real work is. The moment you take full ownership of how you react is the moment you stop being controlled by circumstances. Setbacks become temporary. They lose the power to define your mood or direction. You may still feel pain, but it won't control you. You may still feel pressure, but it won't break you. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Chapter 5. Catch the moment. Your thinking starts going in circles. One of the quietest ways people stay stuck is by thinking in circles. It starts small, a single thought, a worry, a doubt, a what if. And instead of leading to a solution or an action, the mind keeps looping. The same thought, the same scenario, the same question, again and again. You move through your day, but that thought keeps coming back. You try to focus, but your mind keeps spinning. Nothing gets solved. You're not moving forward. You're just exhausting yourself with the same ideas dressed up in different words. That's the danger of circular thinking. It feels productive, but it isn't. It creates the illusion of effort without any real progress. This kind of thinking drains energy, increases stress, and blocks clear decisions. If you want to grow, you have to learn to catch the exact moment your thinking starts looping. That moment matters, because the longer the loop continues, the harder it becomes to break. Your thoughts begin reinforcing each other. Fear feeds fear. Emotion builds momentum. Soon you're not just thinking, you're trapped in a pattern that controls how you feel, how you act, and how you respond to life. The key is awareness, not judgment, not panic, just awareness. You need to start noticing how your mind moves. Watch for the signs. Are you thinking about the same problem again without gaining a new insight? Are you feeling anxious just from thinking, not from anything actually happening? Do your thoughts circle without leading anywhere useful? That's your signal to pause. That pause is powerful. It gives you space to step out of the loop and back into clarity. Most people are never taught how to work with their thoughts. They're taught to perform, to achieve, to stay busy, but not to recognize what's happening inside their own head. So when circular thinking takes over, they assume they're being careful or thorough. But thinking should lead to action, learning, or peace. If it only creates tension, you're not thinking. You're spinning. So what do you do when you catch the loop? First, interrupt it. Not by forcing yourself to stop thinking completely, but by refusing to follow the same path again. Say to yourself, I've already thought this through. What's new here? If there's nothing new, no insight, no solution, no next step, then it's time to redirect your focus. One of the strongest skills you can develop is the ability to guide your thoughts intentionally. You decide which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones don't. Not every thought is true just because it appears. You question, you challenge, you filter. That's how you take back control of your thinking. It also helps to understand why your mind loops in the first place. It's trying to protect you. Your brain believes that replaying the problem might prevent pain or prepare you for the worst. But instead, it traps you in emotional paralysis. Nothing changes. Stress increases. Thinking without action doesn't reduce fear. It amplifies it. This doesn't mean thinking is bad. Reflection is powerful. But there's a difference between productive reflection and repetitive rumination. Reflection looks for lessons and creates direction. Rumination repeats discomfort. When you train yourself to catch circular thinking, you create space for better ideas, calmer responses, and clearer decisions. You can break the loop by writing things down. When a thought keeps returning, put it on paper. Ask yourself, what's the real issue here? What am I afraid of? What's one action I can take today? Writing externalizes the thought. It gives you distance. It restores clarity. You can also shift your state physically, move your body, change your environment, step outside. breathe deeply. When the body changes, the mind follows. Sometimes you don't need more thinking, you need an interruption. Don't wait for peace to arrive on its own. Create it by being intentional with your focus. Protect your mental space. Don't let the same few thoughts play on repeat. That doesn't just waste time, it wastes potential. Catch the loop early. The earlier you notice it, the easier it is to redirect. But even if you've been stuck for hours or days, you can still break it. Awareness is always the first step. Ask better questions. Instead of, "Why does this always happen to me?" ask, "What can I do about this right now?" Instead of, "What if it all goes wrong?" ask, "What's the next small step?" Better questions create better outcomes. Be mindful of the people and content you surround yourself with. Some voices feed clarity, others feed fear. Choose wisely. This is a skill you build over time. Every time you catch the loop and step out of it, you strengthen your mind. Clear thinking leads to better choices. Better choices create momentum. Momentum moves your life forward. Your life is shaped by the quality of your focus, and your focus improves when you learn to catch your mind the moment it starts going in circles. One clear thought, one better reaction, one intentional step at a time. Chapter 6. Create space to think. Instead of rushing into panic, most people are trained to react, not to think. When something unexpected happens, plans fall apart, someone says something hurtful, or bad news appears, the instinct is panic. You feel it in your chest. Your thoughts speed up. Your breathing becomes shallow. Decisions turn fast, emotional, and usually wrong. Panic creates pressure. Pressure pushes you to act immediately, even when acting right away isn't the best choice. It makes everything feel urgent, like it has to be fixed now. But rushing is rarely the solution. What you actually need in those moments is space. Space to breathe, space to slow down, space to think clearly. Clear thinking requires intention. It needs stillness. And in a world that worships urgency, stillness is rare. People are praised for reacting fast, for moving constantly, for always being on. But clarity doesn't come from chaos. It comes from calm. If you want to make better decisions, you must build the habit of creating space between what happens and what you do next. That space is powerful. It separates the situation from the story your mind immediately creates about it. It allows you to ask better questions instead of acting on impulse. Without space, you react from habit. And habits formed under stress are rarely helpful. They're just familiar. When panic takes over, your thinking narrows. You stop seeing options. You focus only on what's wrong, not what's possible. You make short-term decisions to escape discomfort, not long-term choices that serve your future. When those rushed decisions stack up, life starts to feel out of control. But it's not the circumstances doing that. It's the lack of mental space. You can't build a strong life if your mind lives in emergency mode. Strength comes from grounded thinking, from slowing down long enough to evaluate, reflect, and choose. This doesn't mean avoiding action. It means choosing action from clarity, not fear. Creating space begins with awareness. You need to know what triggers your panic. Is it pressure from others? Fear of failure? The need to please? Once you recognize your triggers, you can catch yourself sooner. You can pause. You can breathe. That pause might last 30 seconds or 5 minutes, but it's everything. It interrupts the automatic reaction and gives control back to you. Creating space doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing something different. It means choosing reflection over reaction. Most people never practice this, but anyone can learn it. When you step back, you'll notice something important. Much of the pressure you feel isn't coming from outside. It's coming from your own thoughts, your expectations, your fear of being wrong, your fear of looking weak. When you breathe and slow down, that pressure shrinks. The problem doesn't disappear, but your ability to handle it grows. That's the difference between reacting and responding. To build this habit, you need systems that support stillness. Maybe it's 5 quiet minutes in the morning. Maybe it's journaling at night. Maybe it's learning to say, "I need a moment," when emotions rise. Small practices create big change. Your body also plays a role. When your body is tense, your mind follows. When your breathing is shallow, your thoughts speed up. But when you slow your breath and relax your body, your brain receives a message. It's safe to think. That's when clarity returns. In high-pressure moments, people look for fast answers. What they actually need are better questions. What matters most right now? What's one smart step I can take? What's within my control? Questions like these pull you out of fear and into focus. Don't expect others to protect your thinking space. People may rush you. They may pressure you to respond immediately. But your responsibility is to stay grounded, to value clarity more than urgency, to protect your peace over other people's expectations. If you give up your mental space to please others, you lose yourself. Not everything that feels urgent deserves immediate action. Some things need space, they need thought. This isn't about being slow, it's about being intentional. When you rush, you satisfy the moment. When you think, you serve the future. Life rewards those who can hold urgency and clarity at the same time. You'll face moments that test you. Emotions will rise. Plans will break. People will misunderstand you. That doesn't mean you need to panic. You can pause. You can breathe. You can think. And the more you practice this, the more you trust yourself. You stop fearing problems because you know you can meet them with a calm mind. That's real confidence. You don't build it overnight. You build it by choosing space over panic again and again. Each pause rewires your brain. Each moment of stillness strengthens your control. Some people live in constant urgency. Others live with clarity. The difference isn't fewer problems. It's better space. Choose to create it. Chapter 7. Ask yourself what would actually help. Right now. Most people don't realize how often they get in their own way, simply because they don't stop to ask the right question. They get caught in frustration, doubt, stress, or confusion. They keep pushing, replaying the same thoughts, repeating the same complaints, and reacting in the same ways without ever pausing to reflect. But progress doesn't come from pressure alone. It comes from clarity. And one of the fastest ways to regain clarity is to ask yourself a simple question in the middle of the chaos. What would actually help right now? Not what feels good, not what looks impressive, not what other people expect. What would actually help right now? That question cuts through the noise. It forces your mind to shift from emotional thinking to practical thinking. It pulls your attention away from blame, regret, and mental spirals and brings it back to action. It's a simple question, but very few people ask it when they need it most. When your day starts falling apart and nothing seems to work, ask it. When you feel tired, angry, or discouraged, ask it. When you're overwhelmed with choices and can't decide, ask it. Not next week, not later, not when you feel ready, right now. This question works because it pulls you into the present moment. Most stress lives in the past or the future. You replay what already happened or worry about what might happen. Rarely do you stay with the moment long enough to understand what you truly need. Asking this question grounds you. It stops the spiral. It clears your thinking. You can't move forward if you don't know what direction you're aiming for. And under pressure, the mind wants to escape, not act. You look for distractions or excuses instead of solutions. But what helps is often simple. Take a short break. Be honest with yourself. Set one small goal. Ask for help. Drink water. Go for a walk. Write it down. Silence your phone. These small, intentional actions can shift your state and open a path forward. Most situations don't need a big solution. They need a practical adjustment. And you won't find that adjustment unless you ask the right question. Many people ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Or, "What's wrong with me?" Or, "How am I supposed to fix all of this?" Those questions feel urgent, but they don't help. They add weight. They keep you focused on the problem instead of movement. But when you ask, "What would actually help right now?" you shift from reaction to strategy. You stop waiting for things to change and start deciding how to move. That decision gives you back control. It doesn't need to be dramatic. Maybe what helps is turning off noise. Maybe it's stepping outside. Maybe it's finishing the one task you've been avoiding all day. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for not being perfect. Maybe it's resting without guilt. You'll only know if you pause long enough to ask. This practice builds self-awareness. Over time, you begin to recognize what throws you off and what brings you back. You respond to stress with intention instead of emotion. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You start creating better ones. This question also builds emotional maturity. It teaches you to separate feelings from actions. You can feel disappointed and still move forward. You can feel uncertain and still make a clear decision. That's self-leadership. It even improves communication. In difficult conversations, when emotions rise, asking yourself this question can stop you from saying something you'll regret. Sometimes what helps is listening more. Sometimes it's saying less. Sometimes it's stepping away briefly. This question protects your behavior. It works in good moments too. When you feel focused and productive, ask it again. What would help right now to keep this momentum going? You might realize you need to protect your time or deepen your focus. Over time, this becomes a habit. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you become someone who pauses, breathes, and looks for a real solution. Not a perfect one, but one that helps now. That's how confidence grows. Not through big wins, but through repeated moments of clarity and action. You stop catastrophizing. You stop making problems bigger than they are. You trust yourself because you've proven again and again that you can handle what's in front of you. Your recovery time shortens. You still face stress. You still have hard days, but you don't stay stuck as long. Your progress lives in present awareness, not perfect planning. Start using this question daily. When you're tired, when you're stuck, when you're emotional, write it down. Make it visible. The more you use it, the more power you take back from old patterns and emotional reactions. You waste less time. You spiral less. You move more. You stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing your response instead. That's leadership. Quiet, consistent, effective. One pause, one clear question, one better decision at a time. Chapter 8. Replace complaining with one simple action. Every day, people lose time, energy, and potential by complaining. It becomes a habit so quickly that most don't even notice it forming. You wake up tired and say it out loud. You see something you don't like and point it out. Someone makes a mistake and you talk about it to someone else. Bad news appears and you add your voice to the noise. Little by little, this habit shapes your mindset, and your mindset shapes your life. A life built on complaining becomes reactive, negative, and stagnant, because the more you complain, the less energy you have left to change anything. Complaining doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't improve the outcome. It only keeps your attention locked on what's wrong. And when your focus stays there, you stop seeing what's possible. You stop asking what can be done. You spend your day frustrated instead of moving forward. Complaining is easy. That's why it's common. It doesn't require courage. It doesn't require discipline. It costs you nothing in the moment except your peace and your power. If you want your life to improve, you have to do better with your words, your attention, and your effort. And the simplest place to start is this: replace complaining with one useful action every day. Not a perfect solution, not a huge breakthrough, just one small action that moves your life in the direction you say you want. Daily behavior creates identity. If your daily habit is to complain, you become someone who sees life through frustration. If your daily habit is to take one step forward, no matter how small, you become someone who builds progress instead of talking about problems. Many people complain because it feels like release. Something goes wrong and they want to let it out. They want to feel heard. They want validation. That's understandable. But ask yourself this: after I complain, what actually changes? Did the problem disappear? Did I grow? Or did I just spend more time sitting in something I already knew? Now imagine a different response. Every time you catch yourself complaining, pause and ask, what's one thing I can do right now that helps? Maybe it's sending an email you've been avoiding. Maybe it's organizing one small part of your space. Maybe it's finishing one task on your list. Maybe it's apologizing. Maybe it's drinking water and resetting your energy. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be action. That shift builds a powerful habit. You teach your brain that discomfort doesn't need to turn into negativity. It can turn into movement. Action creates momentum. Momentum breaks emotional loops. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. It means you respect them enough to do something useful with them. Notice the frustration, but don't live in it. Ask yourself, what would progress look like here? Then take one step toward that answer. That's responsibility without overwhelm. One moment, one choice, one shift. When you replace complaining with action, your confidence grows. You trust yourself more because you stop waiting for someone else to fix things. You show up for yourself even when it's inconvenient, even when you're tired. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to stop using your words to describe how stuck you feel and start using your time to change what you can. Results won't always show up immediately, but your mindset will shift instantly because your brain knows the difference between expressing frustration and creating progress. Complaining drains you. Action strengthens you. Build the habit of doing something, anything, that moves you forward. Start small. Pick one moment in your day when you notice yourself complaining. Catch it. Replace it. If you're stuck in traffic, use the time to learn or reflect. If you're about to complain about someone, ask what you can communicate directly or influence. If you're complaining about being tired, check if you've eaten, slept, or hydrated, and fix one thing. These aren't dramatic changes, they're consistent ones. And consistency rewires your mind. Over time, frustration becomes a signal instead of a trap. A signal that something needs to change. A signal that you can act. People will notice the difference in you. You'll speak with more calm. You'll respond with more patience. You won't get pulled into every negative conversation, not because life got easier, but because you chose to lead yourself instead of repeating the same complaints. Nothing builds long-term peace like knowing you're doing your part, even in small ways. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start now. Replace one complaint with one action, then repeat. That's how you grow. That's how you move. That's how you turn energy into progress, one choice at a time. Chapter 9. Calm your emotions so your choices stay clear. When emotions rise, clarity disappears. You've felt this before. Saying something you didn't mean. Making a choice you later regretted. Avoiding something you knew you needed to face. In every one of those moments, the problem wasn't intelligence or intention. It was emotional overload. Your emotions took control, and your thinking followed. Emotions themselves aren't the enemy. They're part of being human. They carry information. They tell you when something matters. But when emotions lead your decisions, judgment becomes distorted. You react instead of choosing. You say yes when you should say no. You stay silent when you should speak. You act out of pressure instead of alignment. The cost of unmanaged emotions is high. It shows up in damaged relationships, lost opportunities, wasted time, and ongoing frustration. The solution isn't suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. That never works. Suppression only builds pressure under the surface, and pressure always finds a way out. What you need is the ability to calm yourself in the moment, to slow things down just enough to see clearly, think clearly, and choose clearly. Calm isn't a luxury, it's a skill, and like any skill, it can be practiced, trained, and strengthened. When you learn to stay calm, you protect your judgment. You create space between how something feels and what it actually is. Most emotional reactions come from the first version of the story your mind creates. That version is usually shaped by fear, past experience, or assumption. But when you pause and regulate your state, that first version quiets down. A second version appears, more balanced, more accurate, more useful. That version makes better decisions. Think about the last decision you made while stressed. Were you proud of it? Or did you later think, I should have taken a moment? That feeling isn't regret. It's awareness. It's the part of you that knows there's a better way to handle pressure. You don't become calm by accident. You build calm by learning your signals, the tight chest, the racing thoughts, the shallow breath, the urge to react immediately. Those signals are warnings. They tell you your thinking is about to be hijacked. That's your cue to pause. When something triggers you, conflict, rejection, delay, your body reacts before logic does. That's why calming your body is essential. Breathe slower. Pause before speaking. Step away when needed. Ground yourself in the present. Those few seconds change everything. In that pause, ask yourself one question. What do I actually want from this situation? Not what emotion wants, not what impulse demands. What outcome truly helps? That question pulls you out of emotional tunnel vision and back into intention. Strong people don't let emotions decide their actions. They treat emotions as information, not commands. They feel them, but they don't follow them blindly. Fear, anger, frustration, those feelings can exist without being in charge. You won't get this right every time. That's fine. Progress matters more than perfection. Catching yourself once out of 5 times is better than never catching yourself at all. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, stress no longer triggers explosion or shutdown. It triggers pause, reflection, and choice. People lose years of progress because of one emotional decision, one moment of reaction, one choice made without clarity. Almost all of them say the same thing afterward. I wish I had taken a moment. You don't have to learn that lesson the hard way. You don't need to eliminate emotion. You need to lead it. That takes discipline. It takes awareness, but it's worth it. Imagine your relationships if you paused before reacting. Imagine your progress if frustration didn't steer your decisions. Imagine your clarity if pressure didn't cloud your thinking. That's the power of calm. It's quiet, it's internal, but it holds your future together when things shake. Start practicing in small moments. When something annoys you, breathe instead of reacting. When someone misunderstands you, listen before defending. When pressure rises, pause before fixing. Those small moments build emotional leadership. You are not your emotions. You experience them, but they don't define you. They don't control your path unless you give them permission. Keep that permission. Build a life led by clarity, not reaction. The more calm you practice, the more peace you create, and from that peace come better decisions, stronger thinking, and a more stable future. Pause, breathe, choose. That's where your power lives. Chapter 10. Keep going, even when your results feel too slow. Progress doesn't always look exciting. Most of the time, it's quiet, it's slow, it's ordinary. There are no big celebrations, no clear milestones, no immediate rewards. And that's exactly why so many people struggle to stay committed. When you're putting in effort and the results don't show up as fast as you expected, doubt starts creeping in. You question yourself. You question the process. You wonder if you're wasting your time, doing something wrong, or chasing something that simply isn't meant for you. That kind of thinking shows up when effort isn't followed by instant feedback. But here's what you need to understand. Slow results are still results. The pace might not match your expectations, but if you stop now, you erase every step you've already taken. Real growth is rarely fast. It's consistent. It's built through repetition, small choices, and daily effort. The kind of progress that lasts doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, behind the scenes, when no one is watching and nothing seems to be changing. But something is changing. You just can't see it yet. That's the part that requires belief. Not blind hope, but belief rooted in discipline. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or potential. They fail because they quit too early. They walk away halfway through the process because they expected results to appear as fast as their effort. When that doesn't happen, they assume it's not working. What they don't realize is that slow progress is part of how real change works. Your mindset needs time to shift. Your habits need time to rewire. Your outcomes need time to catch up. This isn't about instant gratification. It's about long-term transformation. Think about how long it took to build the habits you're trying to change. Years, maybe decades. You can't undo them in a few days or weeks. You're not just changing what you do. You're changing how you think, how you respond, how you show up when things get uncomfortable. That takes time. And if you walk away every time progress feels slow, you never give yourself the chance to reach what you were aiming for in the first place. You have to learn how to move forward without constant proof that it's working. That's a level of maturity most people never develop. They act when they feel motivated. They stop when that feeling fades. But discipline says, I'll keep going anyway. Even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, even when there's no applause, because the goal still matters, because growth doesn't require excitement, it requires commitment. You don't have to move fast, you just have to move steadily. Keep showing up, keep doing the right things, keep making choices that support the direction you want to go, even when progress feels invisible. Everything you're doing is adding up. Every small action, every decision, every moment you choose effort over excuses. It's stacking. You're either stacking effort that supports your future or stacking reasons to stay the same. Speed matters far less than direction. When discouragement shows up, remind yourself that this is where most people quit. And that's exactly why staying matters. If you can remain consistent through slow seasons, you become someone who can handle success when it arrives. You build patience. You build strength. You build the mindset required to maintain progress once results finally show up. People often say, "It's not working," when what they really mean is, it's not working fast enough. But if you've been honest with your effort, even inconsistently, you're still moving forward. You just have to stay in the process long enough for the results to surface. You can't rush real change. You can't force growth just because you want it sooner. It takes what it takes. And your responsibility is to keep showing up while you wait. That waiting period is where character is built. It's where you learn the difference between being interested and being committed. Anyone can feel interested when something is new and exciting. Commitment is staying when the excitement disappears. This is where most people look for shortcuts. They chase quick fixes and overnight success. But shortcuts come with a cost, and that cost is usually a weak foundation. When something comes too fast, you're rarely prepared to keep it. You haven't built the habits or strength to sustain it. Slow growth is a gift. It prepares you, it strengthens you, it makes you ready. When things feel slow, go back to why you started. Remember the vision that made you commit in the first place. That future still matters. It's not gone. It's waiting on your consistency. Don't let the pace convince you to quit. Keep building. Keep working. Keep choosing action over excuses every day. You're not stuck because you're moving slowly. You're only stuck if you stop. Slowness isn't failure. It's a sign you're doing real work. It means you're moving through resistance instead of avoiding it. Don't compare your timeline to anyone else's. You don't know how long they've been working behind the scenes. Focus on your pace, your direction, your progress. The world moves fast. Social media shows results, not effort. Don't fall into the illusion that everyone else is ahead of you. They're not. Everyone goes through slow seasons, setbacks, and periods of doubt. The difference is who keeps going. If you're still here, still trying, still showing up, that matters. It means you're building something real. You don't need massive wins every day. You need steady movement. One step, one task, one choice at a time. Some days will feel quiet. Some days will feel unchanged. But over time, you'll see it. The shift, the growth, the stronger version of yourself. Stay focused. Stay steady. Don't quit just because it feels slow. That quiet is where strength is built. That silence is where your next breakthrough forms. You don't have to see it yet. You just have to keep going. Slow progress is still progress, and the only real way to lose is to stop. Keep going. Keep building. Keep believing. The results will come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they will come. And when they do, you'll be glad you never walked away during the slow part. You'll be grateful you didn't quit when nothing seemed to be happening. You'll realize that the quiet work, the invisible effort, the days when progress felt non-existent, those were the days that shaped you the most. Because growth doesn't announce itself while it's happening. You only recognize it in hindsight. One day you look back and notice you think differently. You react differently. You handle pressure with more calm. You make decisions with more clarity. You stay consistent where you used to give up. That's not luck. That's accumulated effort. That's what happens when you keep going even when the results feel slow. Most people never reach that point, not because they weren't capable, but because they stopped too early. They confused silence with failure. They mistook patience for stagnation. But silence is often preparation. The work you do when no one is watching matters. The habits you build when motivation is low matter. The discipline you practice without reward matters. Those moments are not wasted. They are stored. They compound. They shape who you become. So when progress feels slow, don't panic. Don't question your worth. Don't abandon the path. Stay steady. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to continue. One more day, one more step, one more choice aligned with who you want to be. That's how lives change. Quietly, gradually, permanently. And if you remember anything from this chapter, remember this. Slow progress is not a sign you're failing. It's often a sign you're doing the work that actually lasts. So keep going. Your future is being built right now, whether you can see it yet or not.